Hi, my name is Simon Clark. I've been here, I think, since 2009, so that's 10 or 11 years. So seen quite a lot of people come and go, but that's quite good in a way because you get fresh ideas and new faces. I live in Bowerford at the minute, very near to the studios, but I'm from Nelson originally. So a lot of my work is based on local landscape. I don't always work in landscape, but recently my work has focused on landscape because I like to run. Used to do fell running, walking, mountain biking. So a lot of my work is based on local landscape, and maybe slightly further afield, Yorkshire Dales, Wales, where we've enjoyed holidays, etc. I used to do quite a lot. I was an art teacher, so I basically self-taught myself a range of approaches and materials to use, so that I could offer those to students. So I taught and worked in ceramics, painting and drawing, printing. But more recently, in recent years, I've concentrated on textiles, in particular batik, which is a process of using hot wax and dye on fabric. And that's quite nice because you get quite interesting textures, and also you can experiment with different dyes and materials, from really thick cottons and hessians to really fine silks, so the outcomes are really varied and different, and I really love that tactile aspect of batik. This is an example of one of my recent batiks, which I produced probably just before lockdown, which is very near to where I live, which is an image looking from Noggarth, the Noggarth Road above Nelson, up to Pendle Hill. It's obviously framed on quite an expensive frame, so then obviously when you're selling work, you've got to factor that in. So as well as producing work which are framed behind glass, I've also enjoyed working on, in a different way, these are pieces I've done recently during lockdown. These are taken from sketches and photos of my local park, Victoria Park. So the studies for a bigger piece really, but because they're not behind glass, you can actually touch and see the fabrics and the effect of dye and the cracking of the wax much better than if it's framed behind glass. And that's another example. And I've also quite enjoyed using like frayed edges and combining it with paint, so you get a contrast and a mix of colour and texture. And also, without wanting to sound tight or miserable, the fact that they're on canvas means that you can sell them cheap, and also they're cheaper for people to purchase. I've always used sketch pads. So these, again, are a couple of pieces I've done over the recent months. These are some sketches that I did when we were on holiday in Wales, in Anglesey. So these are sketches from life, looking from Beaumaris over to the mainland, etc. With bits of collage and watercolour and pencil. And then quite sketchily, obviously, because working from life, you've got to think about the weather, etc. You can get cold. And then from those, using different photographs and the sketches, and with imagination, I will then back at the studio produce batik work. But what I've done with these, which I've quite enjoyed, is exploring texture further by actually ripping bands of fabric and thinking about horizons and individual views, and then combining them on painted canvas. So again, you're getting a range of colours and textures, and I don't mind. It's quite nice when you see people looking at your work because they are drawn to actually touch the warp and